Been trying to start this episode for like 10 minutes now, but our dog down there is just too cute, so screw it. I can't focus. Hey everyone, it's me, Aaron.
And I'm Michelle.
And this is our post-Geekout reaction for Raya and the Last Dragon. That was the name of it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this is a brand new movie. It is up on Disney Plus right now. It's part of like Disney Plus, like premium access bullcrap thing. Which, listen, I understand that these movies cost a lot of money, so they want to be able to like, you know, get those ticket prices in there. I wish that they would just make this simpler. Like, I wish that it wasn't like, oh, you get the premium pass edition and that allows you for $30 to watch something. Like, just say the movie costs $30. That's it, like that, done. That's all there is to it. Movie costs you $30. The end. Yeah, it's just so weird to me that they have to try and like hide like the price of this film behind like, oh, and the premium service charge. No,
we know what you're doing.
We know what this is.
No, stop trying to lie.
Also, it's very weird to me how we mentioned this, I think, when we did our, the Mulan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we mentioned this then, but it's just very odd to me that it's like, you have to get the subscription service and then you have to charge that amount. It's like, I understand you need to charge an extra amount, but why not just make it so that anybody can watch this by paying the extra amount? But if you're a subscribed member, then you get like $5 off or something. Like, I don't know, just a tiny thing. That's not going to affect my actual feelings about the film because I actually think this film is very damn good.
I honestly think it's worth the price.
Yes, it's not Mulan.
No, it's better.
With Mulan, I was sitting there the entire time going, I cannot believe this train wreck. What am I watching? And this was actually like, oh, hey, good, yeah, this is fun. This is nice. I did have some problems in the beginning because I think in the first act, I'd say like the first half hour, maybe a little bit past that, but in that time period, it feels like it's trying too hard to be hip and with it and funky fresh. But then after that, they almost stop that completely. Like after that, it becomes like, no, this is what we are focusing on that. It feels almost like they had to trick people into watching this in the beginning by going, yeah, we're with it. We're with the kids out there. Like that's not what you are, like, man.
These are the scenes that are gonna go in the trailer.
Yeah. Kind of does feel like that a little bit. But yeah, like in the beginning of this, which let's go ahead and just talk about the story, the premise. What is this about? It is set in this fictional land where long ago these creatures, what are the creatures called? The big purple fog monsters?
I don't know.
Oh, wow. If you don't remember it, then how am I supposed to? You're the one who always remembers names. But yeah, the big purple fog monsters, they were wreaking havoc across the land, and anything that they touched turned to stone, and all the people and all the creatures were turned to stone except for 5 dragons. The 5 dragons all gave their power to Raya, and they all turned to stone.
No, Sisu.
Sisu, sorry. Raya is the human.
Yes.
Raya's the human.
Yes. Sisu is the dragon.
Sorry. It's been a long day, everybody. But they gave their powers to Sisu, and Sisu used their magic to dispel all these creatures and return everyone back to normal. And what was left is this little glowing dragon orb, and now the land has been divided into 5 different lands, and they're all based after a part of the dragon. There's Fang, Spine, Tail, Talon, and Heart. Hey, I got those ones right.
Yes. Well, those are easy to remember.
Yeah. And our hero, Raya, it starts off with her as a kid, and they're trying to bring all these people together, and her father is, yeah, put the dog down. She's too distracting. I can't handle your cuteness, Peach.
But it's like the whole reason, like, it was once a unified nation, but they got divided because they wanted to, like, they each like part of the nation wanted like the jewel for themselves. So that's why they've been divided.
So this thing starts off with Raya when she's a kid, and her father is trying to bring all these tribes back together so that they can all become a united front. And they start fighting amongst themselves, and they end up breaking the orb. And with the orb broken, all those creatures get re-released, and they start like spraying across the land, turning people to stone. And Raya has one of the pieces, but then the head of every single one of the other nations get one of the other pieces of the shattered orb. And so
the shattered orb like repels the monster things. Yeah. That and water.
Yeah. So it being united, so the orb being collected together was keeping the monsters at bay. But now that's shattered, they're all coming back.
Yes.
So, this is now set 6 years after that, and Raya is trying to track down Sisu to use her magic in order to unite the orb again and dispel all the monsters. And throughout this entire journey, Raya goes from one of the different villages to another.
Yeah.
And along the way, she starts collecting up the different pieces, but she also meets different people at every single one of these places who all join her along her way. It really kind of reminds me of Avatar.
Yes.
Like, it's got strong Avatar vibes. Like, okay, everybody used to be united, but then one day, this nation screwed everything up. Now they're all divided, and now the chosen one, in this case being the dragon, has to basically unite everyone again by collecting things from every single one of the different tribes, and along the way, they make different friends that follow them on their journey from each of the different tribes. Yeah, it's very much, in all fairness, it's not like Avatar invented that, but it is, like, you can't help but watch this and be reminded
but
of it.
I do feel like this movie is different enough that it stands on its own.
Yeah, I'm only bringing up Avatar because one thing, this isn't a complaint with this. In a way, it's kind of a compliment. I really wish this had not been a movie. I wish this had been a show. I wish that this had been like an entire season of something, because I want to get more time in every single one of these lands. I want to get more time with every single one of these characters.
I feel like if this movie does well enough, which it's already doing very well.
Oh, okay.
That they'll make a series off it, because
I'd like to see them do that.
Yeah, because that's usually what they do with like successful like movies and everything.
They did that a lot when we were kids, because when we were kids, Hercules had a show, Aladdin had a show. I remember Little Mermaid had one.
Yeah, but it's like Big Hero 6 has their own series, and Tangled has its own series.
So they're trying to bring that back.
Yeah,
and this is like made for that.
Yes,
this would be perfect for that.
Like I feel like the series would be like a prequel, showing like Raya going from each land to try and get Sisu or something.
Maybe, I mean, that would work. I would also just really like if they basically just were willing to like. I would like if it just like was set after this, and it was just like Raya taking all the people she met during this journey out on another mission, because there are some really cool characters that they find in here, and there's some in here that I really dislike. But as not the show, but as the movie went along, I liked them more. Like the very first person that she meets is this kid. Do you remember what his name was? It was like Bao?
Boone. I think.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but they meet this kid Boone, and man, I talk about how this show is trying way too hard to be hip and funky fresh. This kid drove me nuts when he was first introduced, because he was just like, hey, I'm Boone. I will be your waiter today. If I can get you anything, then you... He's like just trying to be super smooth. I was like, you're 5. It's like, don't...
Not really 5.
He's like 10, I know, or something. But it's like, don't act like that. It's weird. Don't act like that when they're like... But then as it goes on, it gets way more serious. You learn more about his past and about why he's running this restaurant all by himself. I'm like, man, I really kind of dig this. Like, I like seeing the depth behind this character, and the actor is really pulling it off. And then there's also Sisu herself, which, again, in the beginning, it's played by Awkwafina. In the beginning, it was like, it's Awkwafina. Mm-hmm. In the beginning, there's moments in which she's trying to be like hip hop, and I was like, oh, I don't like any of this. She's a water dragon, and she's like, yeah, when I get in the water, I slaughter. And she like goes on with like 3 more rhymes after that, and I was like, stop, please stop. You're ruining so many great things that are happening in this movie right now. But then, again, like, after the half-hour point, she kind of stops that, and she kind of becomes, like, this really charming and endearing character. Which that's one thing that I really do have to say that I enjoy about this, is that Sisu, she's the mythical dragon who saved the world. I like that when you meet her, she is not who you would expect her to be. Like, you expect her to be like this legendary, all-knowing...
Like graceful, wise, and mysterious.
Exactly. No, she was the screw-up dragon. There's literally the way that she describes it is, you know, when everybody does their part in a class project, but there's that one student who doesn't do as much, but they still get the same grade as everyone else. Yeah, that was kind of me. And I like that, because it means that she's got her own journey here. She's got her own thing proven. There are moments in here in which we see, like, her flashbacks and how she kind of, like, compared to the other dragons, and you kind of get that sense of like, oh man, yeah, she's got really like her own stuff going on here. I really did enjoy that.
Yeah, and like each piece like represents like a power that her siblings possessed before giving the jewel to her. Mm-hmm. So it's like I think the one that Raya had made her glow.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So some of the powers aren't all that helpful.
No, but it's like it's a mix. You know, it's like each dragon has their own power, so it's like you can't expect all of them to be great.
Also, I have this feeling like this was probably based on legends that I'm unfamiliar with.
Yeah, probably.
So it's probably like a lot of things were taken directly from the legends.
Yeah,
like
it's definitely based off like a lot of like Southeastern Asia like mythology and everything. Yeah. And I think that's really awesome.
I did really like that. Yeah. Also, I love like the world that they create here because it really reminded me like in the beginning of this thing, you see her. Raya, she's traveling along in this desert, but it's a desert where like all the rock structures are kind of shaped in a very odd, like almost alien way, and it reminded me a lot of like 1970s animated films when they try to get like because there was this time period back during the 70s.
Oh, you mean like Fantastic Planet?
Stuff like that, yeah. Like, or I was thinking of like Wizards or something.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That. Yeah, when there were like so many alien animated films set on distant lands where they were like, yeah, it's kind of post-apocalyptic, kind of Mad Maxy, but also kind of like, you know, looks like another world and has fantastical elements in there. Yeah, like a lot of like the art style in here kind of reminds me of that stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of great stuff going on with the art direction in here, a lot of stuff going on with the designs. As I said, when it came to the characters, in the first like half hour, couldn't really stand them because they were just trying to be way too hip and fresh and cool. But then after that, they really tapped that down and I did enjoy it a lot more. There is one character in here that I didn't really enjoy throughout the whole thing, simply because I felt like they were redundant. Because you get Boone in here, who is the little kid. And then the next place they go, they meet up with the next member of their team, and it's a baby. And I'm like, you already have the kid. You don't need the kid and a baby. The only thing that really saves the baby is that she is like paired up with these little like monkey things.
Yeah.
And I will admit, I kind of get some Minion vibes from the monkeys.
Honestly, didn't think they were that bad.
Oh, they're not that bad. They're not that bad. But I definitely get that, like, oh, they're the tiny mischievous things that don't, like, speak any language, and so you can't really understand them. And I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of like become a trope in kids' entertainment, and I kind of, like, got that feeling from them. But they're definitely better than Minions. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, like, they are genuinely funny when you see them wreaking havoc. But also because they actually do some pretty cool stuff, some pretty cool comedy things.
Also, they don't talk, quote unquote, as much.
Yeah, when I say like, when I compare them now, the Minions don't speak any real language in there. The monkeys don't speak any language. Yeah. They don't speak. They're monkeys.
And as for the Minions, they just like babble on about like in their own stupid language.
Yeah. So the only divide is that like the audience can't understand what they're thinking. But in all fairness, these guys, they don't really ever stop that much to try and convey a message.
Except for like that one scene.
That one scene, yes. Which I won't ruin. But yes, that's actually a good moment, and I wish there had been more stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's another reason why I don't really care for the baby all that much, is that because the final member of their team, it's this really big hulking guy who's played by Benedict Wong. And man, the moment you know it's Benedict Wong, you can hear it. But before that, I was like, John DiMaggio? Why are you in here? Like, yeah, I had no idea who this guy was. And then the moment I saw it was Benedict Wong, I was like, oh my God, yeah, it is. I can hear it now. Yeah, he does a great job with that. And you do get some backstory on him. You get some backstory on Boone. You get, like, you don't really get backstory on the baby.
Well,
you
the
just
baby can't talk.
Exactly. You just get, this is what happened to the baby. But it's like, you don't get really, like, emotional exploration of any of that or anything because it's a baby. So, like, you really could have come up with a better character for that area. Especially because, like, there's a couple of other characters you meet in, where are they? They're in Talon, where they go that when they find the baby. There are a couple of characters that you meet in Talon. It's like, all of you are actually kind of interesting and would make good additions to this land, to our team. I would actually, like, there's an old lady you meet in there. It's like, oh, she'd be really cool to add in here. Like, nah, gotta go with the baby.
Well, that's because the old lady isn't who she seems.
That's still semi-spoilery.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Although in all fairness, you do, like, you can see it coming a mile away.
Yeah, it's kind of like how in the beginning where you saw...
There is a hard cut. That is like, oh, well, this thing cut to old lady. Uh-huh. Got it. Okay, I see. But yeah, there's a lot of things in here that I really did enjoy. There's just a few nitpicks. And most of the nitpicks are after the first half hour. Like I said, in the first half hour, I was like, I don't know. But then after that, it becomes really darn good. Just, a couple things that were like more, like I would like a little bit more exploration with these characters. Like, I applaud this thing for being about 2 hours. Normally animated films are like an hour and a half, so I applaud that they were willing to give an extra half hour to explore these characters. But I wish we had gotten some more exploration, because I really like the guy they meet in Spine, and he's the last guy that meets them, so they just immediately go straight off to like their final destination. I was like, I wish there had been like another thing in between those spots just to get like some more idea of like you guys as a group. But there is at least something. There is at least like they have like a meal together, they have like a moment of talking amongst themselves. So there is something in there, and I did enjoy it. Just I enjoyed it so much, I kind of wish we had had some more of it. Like, had like an actual other place they could have gone, like actual other little mission. But I can understand that might have bloated the thing too much. Yeah, when I talk about like nitpicks on things that I had problems with, the problem is I like things in here so much I wish I had more of it. Which, that's not that much of a problem. Again, it's more just like, oh, it would have been better if I had just received more of it. But yeah, man, we've been doing videos for so long where we just do deep dive spoiler talks and theories on things that all this could mean for so long. I forgot what it was like to just come in here and go, yeah, it's really well made. The animation's great on here. Really like the characters. So yeah, good. Good all around. Really nice.
Well, I have some stuff to say.
Go for it.
Well, I guess it's my time to shine since I'm like the Disney.
This is your thing.
I'm the Disney kid.
I ranted about all the Marvel stuff for like 4 weeks in a row. Yeah, go for it.
It's my turn. It's like as I got older, well, actually, to tell you the truth, I never really was into like the princess movies when I was little. I was more into like, as far as Disney movies goes, I was always more into like the movies about animals because it was like more interesting to me. Like the princess movies were like usually like, oh, I want more in life, and I just start singing about it.
And here's my animal sidekick.
Hi, Peach. Yes.
Sorry to come back. Speaking of animal sidekick.
But yeah, and it's like, I liked them as a kid, just like not as much, but like as I got older, I kind of got tired of like the same Princess Disney movies.
Understandable.
And for a moment, I was like, am I getting older and I just want something new? And then it's like, this movie comes along, it's like, oh, I just want something new.
Yeah, this doesn't even feel like a Disney princess film if it weren't for the fact that she still has the animal sidekick.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, the animal sidekick is very different.
Yes, the animal sidekick actually like serves a purpose.
And it's huge.
Yes.
Normally the animal sidekick is a little tiny thing, and it starts off, it's a little tiny thing. I was like, okay, here we go. And then, yeah, you get the 6-year time jump, and it's like, oh no, this thing is like the size of a car. So, yeah.
And it's like, hold on. It's like, this is what I was hoping Moana would be. Like, Moana's, I mean, I still like Moana, but I still feel like it still had that Disney princess vibe going on.
The chicken and the pig, yeah.
Yeah, and like, the whole princess wanting more thing.
Oh, yeah, like her motivation is very similar, you're right. Like,
yeah.
We've seen that a couple times.
Yeah, so it's like I said, I did like Moana, but I kind of was like looking for a little bit something different.
You do have a really good point I hadn't really stopped to think about, but yeah, Raya's motivation in here is save the world.
Yeah.
Not, I need to leave this tower. I mean, her motivation is bring people to her tower, in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, and once again, that's also why I like Frozen 2 better than the first Frozen, is because it had the, mythical animals in it, and it wasn't really about a princess wanting more,
True.
Exactly. But those, like I said, Moana and Frozen 2 were kind of there, but didn't really quite scratch that itch that it had. Raya and the Last Dragon did it.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely understand all that. Like this, yeah, this is kind of like the natural growth of the Disney princess genre that we needed, because it feels very different from it but at the same time continues it just enough of the tropes. They're like, yeah, okay, it's a Disney princess thing.
That being said, I kind of miss the musical numbers.
I'm fine with that.
I know.
Because I know we would have had Boone going on about long-ass songs. Like, I don't need that shit. No, we're good, kid. Oh, God, the Aquafina, like, the hip-hop sequence they would have done with her. No, I don't need that.
No.
I'm good.
Nah. Like, but then again, maybe it's because I grew up with the Disney musicals.
Understandable. So. Peach, are you going to, like, knock the camera over? You were willing to play down there. Anything else you want to add, then?
I don't think I can add anything that would be considered spoilery.
Yeah, we've pretty much talked enough about this without getting into the spoiler stuff. I will say, really dug the resolution. Resolution is great in here. It actually kind of reminded me of a lot of older Disney things where they were not afraid to get a little bit dark. Like, a little bit like, oh, shoot, what's going to happen in here? Yeah, because I'm thinking about, like, more recent Disney things, like the first Frozen, there's that moment where it looks like, oh no, what's happening to Anna? Oh no. And it's like, yeah, you know, it's all going to be fine. And it's like, there's some moments in here where it's like, oh no, they did that. Well, it's all going to turn out to be fine. Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, it's not. It's getting dark. Oh, wait, now we're on to the next scene. And it's even darker. Oh. Okay, yeah, and I really applaud that. Man, that kept me on my toes. Yeah, I'm really shocked at like some of the directions they went with this. So yeah, I really dug this. I would actually give this. It's been a long ass time since we had to give something a rating. I give this like.
You say as you like gave like a WandaVision
I just threw out like a joke thing there. Because normally I do numbers on here. I'm giving this like an 8.5. Like, it's not quite 9 for me. If they had fixed some of my problems in the beginning there, I would definitely have given it a 9. But yeah, it's like an 8.5.
No, it's a 9 for me.
Yeah, I know that you would definitely give it higher than me. So, all right, I guess we're going to spoiler talk now.
It's like, I do want to talk about one thing. There's been some issues about Sisu's design. Like, a lot of...
I've seen you talking about this, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, like when I first saw her, I thought she was, like, really cute and pretty, and I was, like, looking forward to it, but then everyone on Twitter was like, oh, she's just Elsa, but as a dragon. It's like, oh... Well, thanks for ruining that.
It's Mephisto as a dragon.
Thanks for ruining that for me. Now I can't unsee it. But luckily, this movie...
Y'all Disney motherfuckers are just willing to call anything blue Elsa.
But it's like, she kind of has the same face shape a little bit.
She's got Disney face.
Disney face. That's
like, y'all need to realize it ain't Elsa, it's Disney.
Yes, but it's like...
Not saying that's not a problem. Just saying, it's like, yeah, you can't just pin it all on one character. It's a company.
Yeah, but that being said, it did not bother me throughout the movie at all. And there was this moment where she actually, like, shape changes into a human, and her human face did not have the Elsa
look. Very unique. Like... She's actually, like, there was a moment in which I was like, I can't even tell what age she's supposed to be in her human form. Because there's moments in which she looks, like, really young, and then other moments in which it almost looks, it could just be the white hair.
Yeah, because, like...
But there's moments where the white hair kind of makes me go, like, she could be a very old lady right now.
Yeah, but it's like her dragon form had, like, light blue hair,
that's why. It's like, yeah, it just matches up.
So it's like, oh, that's actually, like, really awesome that they
Also, there's very small details I noticed that, like, she's got this one, like, crooked front tooth, and then when she's in dragon form, she's got the same crooked front tooth, and it's like, I really dig that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and like Sisu's personality like shines through. It's like, I really love this character. She's great.
Again, I really disliked her in the beginning, but after they were like, okay, are all like the people with 5-second attention spans gone?
Are
cool.
all the
cool. Are all the kids now fully paying attention?
Are all the kids focused now?
Cool. Now we can tell the story. After it gets up at that point, I'm like, oh, now I really like her. Yeah. Any character in here I didn't like in the beginning, I did eventually like. And I think that's a really strong thing to say about the characters in this film. So, okay, time to go into the spoiler stuff. Yeah, at the end of this, there's this girl that Raya was friends with for like half a second when she was a kid, which that's one small problem I had when she was like, I thought we could have been friends. I was like, you knew her for 2 hours. It's like, if this had been a thing where like, this had been like a once a year kind of thing where all the tribes came together to try and unite, and she looked forward every year to seeing her friend. And then her friend betrayed her as they were kids. I was like, then that would have like hit a lot harder. But it's the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, you only knew her for like half a day. It's like,
what was her name? I forgot.
I forgot too. I remember she's from Fang, but that's it. I'm the guy who never remembers names.
I want to say like Nezumi or something like that, but I don't know.
I can't remember.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, she. Yeah, so she betrayed her. They're the ones who ended up breaking the orb. And I do like that in this, like, now 6 years later world where the monsters are back, they're turning people to stone, and I like that Fang is protected because it's on an island, so it's guarded by all sides of the war. But also, like, yeah, we're protected from the monsters. We're also protected from the other people. We can't go out there and interact with the other people because everyone now blames us. Which I like that because in my mind, I thought there were going to have to be a thing where like people blamed Hart and people blamed Raya's people for it because they're the ones who brought everyone together and then this happened. I like that they were like, no, it was the Fang kid that did it. It was Fang's plan to double cross everyone. Fang is responsible. I like that because it adds more pressure onto the villain character in here because she's like, yeah, I can't let us go back to normal because everyone hates us. So we can't do that. I really enjoyed that. When I say the villain person, I say like the leader of Fang. Her daughter is like the also semi. It's weird. There's still like two villains. But yeah, her daughter, the one who's Raya's age. I also like that she because of this same motivation is like, well, we have to return the world to normal so people will stop hating us. I like that gives both of them motivation. I also dig that like she is like head over heels for the dragon because
dragon nerd.
Yeah, she was a dragon nerd.
They're both dragon nerds.
She was established as a kid to like be in love with dragons. So it'd be like if a comic book fan like suddenly saw Superman come down and try and tell him it's all gonna be okay. Like just talk to me. And it's like, yeah, I dug that. I really enjoyed like seeing like how just overwhelmed she was like that because before she sees the dragon, she is stone cold and she is like the typical Disney like, yes, I'm the villain who doesn't ever change their facial expression.
Well, she kind of like showed a little bit of expression, like compared to her mom, actually. Anyway.
Oh yeah, the mom is totally stone faced.
Yeah,
the daughter has anger issues.
Yeah, it's like I think she also has a bit of mommy issues too, because she's always doing what mom tells her to do.
But yeah, so in other words, like she's very stone cold, but like the only emotions you see are negative emotions. It's anger, stuff like that. I love seeing like her weakness and her humanity, like her moment of being vulnerable when she sees the dragon. I thought that was great. And then the big confrontation where she can't bring herself to give up the stone, even with the dragon asking, but the dragon's going up to her saying, what was the dragon's name? I keep calling
Sisu.
Sisu. But Sisu keeps going up to her and is like, no, you can trust me. And it's that moment is great where like you can see she's tempted to shoot the dragon, but it's Raya not willing to trust that she will trust Sisu that causes all the problems to go down, but also it was her not willing to trust them in the first place that caused Raya to not trust them. So yeah, I really enjoyed all that. And then she shoots Sisu and I was like, she's gonna be fine. And then she falls into the water.
Oh, by the way, she shoots Sisu on accident.
Try saying that 5 times.
Yeah, because Raya didn't trust her, so she kind of like.
We're in the spoiler talk. They know what happened.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah. So I love that after she shoots her, I was just like, she's fine.
It's like, oh, it's just gonna be in her arm.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be like her shoulder, and they're gonna be like, no, it's okay. And
it's like she'll just have a little limp. No big deal.
Yeah, they put like a big bandage around there. It's like, yeah, no, she falls in the water. It's like, oh, the water's gonna heal her. The water's gonna heal her because she's a water dragon. And then you just see like the big
all those the whirlpools.
The whirlpools start appearing.
And, like the sky's going dark.
And then the water just disappears. So now the monsters can storm Fang. I was like, holy crap!
Wow.
Oh, you killed her.
You murdered a dragon.
You actually did it. And that entire sequence in there of them like going into the town and just like seeing the monsters in there, like that moment of like Raya having to go up the stairs and the monsters coming out, she holds up the stone. That is a great, like that shot is fantastic. And man, you're talking about how this thing gets started. Like you see like her in there, and again, I'm sorry that I'm forgetting the villain's name, but she's in there, and like Ray is calling her out, and then she turns around, and you see her mom there as a statue. And she's like, "Yeah, time to finish this." I thought that was a great setup for a final showdown with those two characters. It was so good.
And I love how like Raya's friends like try to get her out of there.
It's people being united. The people from the different tribes coming together. It's so good.
But Tong said he's like, it's no use. She's blinded by her anger. And so they decide to like help the other people in the village to leave. Even though they first never trusted the people of Fang.
They never trusted anybody from any other groups before. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, seeing the groups come together there to try and save them all, and each of them have their own stone that's fighting off the monsters at the end. I loved it. Everything in that scene was, listen, I am a sucker for the big final scene of something being all your friends come back together to help you. Mm-hmm. I am a sucker for those moments. This is done so well. I loved it. I thought it was great. And then of course the finale where it's like we have to like give everybody the stones, but then the villain from Fang isn't willing to trust Raya with the stones and went, all right, fine. My entire character arc has been I'm not willing to trust people. I trust you to do the right thing, and gives it to the person who like she hasn't been able to trust the entire time. It's so good. It's great. And like the mode of them all turning stone, we talk about like, yeah, you know they're gonna be fine. You know they're gonna be fine. But still the setup for it is so good because it's so like it's not just that Raya turns to stone, is that then like Boone goes up to her and hugs her and turns to stone. Like, and then like Tong goes up and puts his arm around them holding the baby as they turn to stone.
And here's the thing, every time someone turned into stone, they would always be in the same position, just standing up with their hands out like this.
Which at the end you kind of realize they're collecting water.
Or flowers.
Or like, flowers, but
yeah, because like
at the end they specifically show rain gathering in their hands.
But it's like, and you know, Raya was in the position, but as soon as like the other, her friends came around, they were just in the same position.
They're all hugging her.
They were hugging her.
I love it. It looks so good. And I love that the final image is all of them just together. Also, shout out to them on how long they held on, like, the stone dying and nothing happening. Yeah, that was kind of impressive that they, like, again, you know it's going to work. But still, I was kind of impressed. I was like, wow, you were willing to really let us sit here until we were all willing to stop and go, is it going to work?
Yeah. That anticipation. Wow.
Yeah. I think this movie is really damn good.
Oh, also, I liked that how Sisu, like, told her story to Raya and convinced Raya to, like, trust others.
Yeah. Oh, it's good.
Yeah. It's like, this actually, like, it's funny because, like, we just finished watching Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beast. Yeah. And it pretty much has the same...
Yeah, I thought the same thing. It's very similar.
Yes, it's the same message about, like, learning to trust others and everything.
It has a very similar vibe, yes. Really enjoyed this movie. Really enjoyed Kipo and Age of the Wonder Beast. I don't have anything else to say. You?
No, go watch it. It's worth the money.
Well, we're in spoiler talk. They just want to know our thoughts on the finale. They just want to know our thoughts on the finale, not like what we thought, like whether or not you should check it out. You should have checked this out before you got to the spoiler part. But yeah, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Next week we'll be talking about that new Invincible cartoon, and we'll also probably talk about Coming to America 2. There's actually some movies coming to streaming right now, so we can kind of talk about some stuff.
Maybe, if you want.
Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. See you guys then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.